I've probably never been as worried on a trip like this as before because I feel like there's a lot that could go wrong.
We've all seen the movies where the guy goes out by himself and never comes back.
The chance of failure is awesome, and I love embarking on things where I might fail.
We can plan as much as we want to, but something's always going to go wrong. Hopefully everything goes smoothly, but I kind of hope it doesn't go smoothly because that's what makes the trip.
Hi, I'm calling about a missing person. He never showed up at camp this evening.
Where was he supposed to meet you again?
What am I gonna bring, you know? Like, what am I not gonna bring?
We're about to embark on an epic journey, 3-day bike tour through the desert.
So the Kokopelli Trail is 142 miles from Fruta to Moab.
It's for the journey, the unknown, and just trying something new.
We don't know what's gonna happen out there. It could be anything, so I'm excited to do something I haven't done before.
Every day that I can, I get home from work and I start scribbling away, designing bike bags. Hopefully I end up with something that is worth putting out there in the world.
There's a lot of people out there who love what they do on a daily basis, and that inspires me. Heath is one of them. He's starting a bikepacking bag company, and he is so excited about this because he's so passionate about riding his bike, about living a good, healthy life.
Right now, I'm in that process. I'm trying to be innovative and do things different than what's going on right now. Then also use that as a platform just to get people to go outside and to enjoy the outdoors and just help people to get out of that day-to-day cycle that a lot of people are stuck in.
So you could easily fit a small sleeping bag in there.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason people get sucked into the fast-paced lifestyle is the culture. If you're surrounded by people wearing suits all day, and then you're the guy that is getting out early because you're following your passions, then you kind of become an outlier, you know? You don't really fit in.
I think that some people maybe have never experienced that play. We maybe forget what it's like to be a kid, to play, to be outside, to feel the wind, and so then we try to entertain ourselves by watching TV and being on the internet, but it doesn't satisfy us.
I've seen a lot of people that they wish they had an out, but they just don't know what it is, or they're too scared to try something.
I think the effects of it is we have a society that's just disconnected from the rest of the world, and we don't empathize with each other, we don't empathize with our environment. Then we're stressed out because we're not connecting with nature. It's hard to get out of that mindset. A few years ago, I came to the epiphany that part of my life that I think I was the most happy was when I was the poorest. And I didn't necessarily always want for new material.
I had a spreadsheet at one point about how I was going to buy a yacht by the time I was 50. I took a vacation to Florida and I came back and I thought, by golly, by the time I'm 50, I'm going to own a yacht. And so I made a budget. And it wasn't any way to live. I spent an incredible amount of time thinking about tomorrow, thinking about next year, thinking about next decade, and not enough time thinking about what am I going to do today to be happy.
And I think that's kind of what this trip is about, is finding that adventure and craving that more than the greatest thing, the new material thing.
Now that I kind of gotten away from that mindset, I'm just thinking about day to day, and I'm a happier person.
I think trips like this always end up being a little spiritual for me. Just the pure exhaustion of riding day after day. All you can really feel is pain sometimes, and I have so much on my mind, but when I come back from the ride, I'm like, what did I just think about? I have no idea, but my head is clear, so it kind of figures itself out.
Until recently, I really thought that being active was all about getting physically fit, and these days I believe it's healthier for my brain than it is for my body, and that's why I do it.
There's a whole movement now of people who just want to be outside and they want to just be part of the scenery. They're not trying to do something great. They're not trying to beat some record or go a certain distance in a certain day. but just be out there and be part of nature and enjoy every second of it.
So we're here in the middle of the desert, beginning of day 3. We had an interesting day yesterday. With about 2 hours to go, one by one, Heath, Harris, and I started running out of water. We're tired. It's been almost 10 hours on the bike. Well, we roll into camp and our support vehicle's not here. We find the camera crew, but no support vehicle. Tad is MIA with our food, with our water, with our warm clothes. It's a little sketchy at that point.
The desert to me is a very foreign place. It's very open. There's not much going on, which is kind of scary because you realize you're in the middle of nowhere, you know, and anything can happen.
The camera crew was really nice to lend us a couple sleeping bags while they went on a search and rescue mission for Tad.
If you've never felt completely isolated and, you know, kind of a little concerned for yourself, you should try it. It's a good time. Just kind of scare yourself a little bit.
About 11 o'clock last night, Tad rolled in. We were ready for bed, but that was a celebration at that point. He had hot food, he had warm clothes, he had our sleeping bags. We were excited that we didn't have to share 2 sleeping bags between 3 grown men. I guess it's an adventure for a reason. Not everything's gonna go right every time, and that's why we're out here, but we're having fun.
Cat's ready to sing. Yeah. You patriotic slam pipe, bright light feeling, pretty psyched. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it.
I think it's important for us to realize that there are things in life that we just can't change. And I think that's what being present is, saying that I can't control the things around me. I can only control myself, and I can embrace it. And I think being outside helps us with that. And I've learned to not be angry at the weather, which is something that I can't change. Instead, I embrace it and I enjoy it. And I think that in the greater scheme of things, that's a bigger part of life, is just embracing and taking that middle path that is the not trying to fix the things that we can't control.
All right, so we are just about finished with the Kokopelli Trail. I'm pretty excited to be done. Maybe a little bit wondering what tomorrow's gonna be like. I think one of the cool things that we've found on this trip is every mile is a little bit longer than you expect. Every hill is a little bit steeper than you expect.
There's a few sections on that road down there where you're literally pedaling downhill because you have to, or else you'll stop. I think our tires were melting. I don't know, it was weird. Never experienced something like that before.
About 10 minutes ago, Harris and I were talking, like the last 3 days have gone by super, super quick. What I'm gonna try to do is just really savor the moment for the last little bit. Probably ride a little slower, to be honest. I want to enjoy this.